Hello YouTube, Damien Nickelbot here. I am the founder of TPA, the Terran Paranormal Alliance, which is a Massachusetts-based UFO/paranormal investigation group, which I am the current only member of that group currently, because I do all my own investigations and really don't want members at this point, so it's a one-person investigation thing right now. I investigate odd lights in the sky I see quite often, like at least once a year. These aren't really standard UFOs, just weird lights that don't behave like anything else and have no obvious logical explanation. I've seen plenty of them myself. My previous videos have gone into that kind of thing. In the previous investigations I did, I found a big light hovering in the sky that was gold-colored earlier this March, that when I looked at it, I discovered it was a UFO because it had very odd shape when I enhanced the image of it. It was in the east in the sky and a place nothing else could have been, and it moved suddenly to a different position later on, even though originally it wasn't moving at all, according to my movement test, which has now been thrown out in the favor of a new movement test because it's kind of inaccurate, but still, I did not see this thing move. And I'm pretty sure it's a UFO because of the way it looked. It looked like a big yellow, bright object, really bright in the sky. Another program suggested it might be Mars, but Mars is too low in the sky to be this. This was 40 degrees up, and Mars is only 20 degrees up on that day, so that's not it. My previous investigation, this was 3 investigations ago, that object I just mentioned. My previous investigation didn't discover any positive proof of a UFO, but I did uncover some evidence that the light that I see in the street light, which is an anomalous light I've seen for a while, which I first mistook for a UFO. I only see it when I'm filming a video with my digital camera through the viewfinder, and I don't see it with the viewfinder when not filming a video. I don't see it when taking photos, and I don't see with my own eyes. I've been trying to figure out what the heck this is for years. My previous investigation suggests that the light on the camera, which is red, is just next to the lens, that gets turned on when you start a video. It's on always, all the time when you're filming a video. That reflection of that light against the power line is not the source of this anomalous light I'm thinking of. In fact, I don't know what it is now. But my previous investigation also saw another object I didn't really think about till I reviewed the footage, and I mentioned that it was an unexplained light, but forgot about it completely. Here's an enhanced video showing this object. Actually, this is not this video I'm thinking of. This is the video of the other object I saw, the weird plane, later on that night. The plane is basically described as a plane that flashes a bright white light every few seconds. Now, it was odd because it was so bright that it just wasn't an ordinary plane, and I don't know why any plane would fly at 3 in the morning like this to do this, unless it was a secret experimental aircraft, which is what I'm thinking. I didn't see any other planes but this, and it was really early in the morning. Bright white light flashing on it, a red light too. This video doesn't show the flashes all that well, but they're there. It's very heavily enhanced with a program to sharpen videos. You probably won't see it on this particular video, but this is a playback of the enhanced video, which I saved to another video. The flashes are very faint, even though I can't notice it on this. That's the first video showing the weird plane-like object. Even though you can't see the flashes, I can when I review the video myself. The other video shows off the unexplained light I thought was in that video, but isn't. The unexplained light was seen to the right of one of my neighbor's houses across the street from me. I still don't know what it is. It was only seen through the viewfinder, just like the anomalous light I mentioned earlier. It was white, hovering, but didn't change color or shape. This right here is the light I'm talking about in this video. This is a street light. This little blob here is just a reflection of a car, apparently. If you look at this video closer, here's the same light in another frame, which is the unexplained light. Here's a neighbor's house I was talking about. Big bright porch with lights on it. Underneath the porch down here is a obvious, I'm going to point to it with the pointer, is a porch, and then a very short walk, and then the sidewalk is right around here. This here is, I figured out later on, that this light here is actually just a reflection of a car. This bright light is the mysterious one I can't explain. There are no lights in the area that account for it. The street light, which you saw earlier, is to the right of that. There's another street light which isn't viewable from this video and wasn't viewable from another video. So I was checking to see if a reflection off of a car could explain for our mysterious light there. So I took another video 2 nights later of the same exact area, and I'm going to show that video now. Hold on. It's taking a while to load. My computer's having some kind of serious issues with it. I don't know what the problems are. They've been happening for at least a week now. Slow down to a crawl a lot of times. Programs taking forever to start. Windows taking forever to come back up after you've left them running for a while. Not all the time, but sometimes. Windows forming blank and things taking forever to load, but that's about the only problem. Might be a future hard drive failure down the road, so I'm not gaming with this PC anymore. I have an external backup hard drive up there, just in case. Okay, here's the video I'm talking about, which I took 2 days later to see if a reflection of a car was... This is a lot clearer video. Okay, these are the lights from the porch. This is not enhanced, by the way. The other one was. This here, this little blob, is a reflection of light from a truck or something, and here's the street light. The other light should be right above here, but notice it is not there in this video. This is a street light. This is a reflection off of a car, but there's no bright light here. This was taken 2 nights later from the same exact position the other video was taken of, and that other bright light was not visible in this video. I don't know what it is. I have footage of it, but I can't really prove it's anything. There's no lights in that area to cause it. It was really high in the air. This is being tree level where it was seen. Tree level. So it was coming from the trees. So what tree-like light would only be seen in the viewfinder? That is the big mystery to me. I'm going to keep doing this. But I run a blog called Terran Paranormal Alliance. The link will be in the description, where I write about this kind of stuff. I haven't been doing it lately because all I've been doing is YouTube video uploads, but I will get, once I get some evidence of another UFO, I will put it up there on the blog. I just haven't been doing a lot of stuff lately. It hasn't gotten a lot of views, the blog, so I'm kind of lazy at it, honestly. But I do investigations every week. I do one on a Sunday. I do another one on one of the weekdays before that, usually a Friday, Thursday, or a Wednesday. Each investigation has 2 parts. A part between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and another part sometime between 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's where it starts, 2 hours after that. Both parts, I look at the night sky from 2 different vantage points. The first part's from my porch, where those 2 videos are taken. The second part is from 2 windows in my bedroom, which has a completely different vantage point. I have a big sheet which has lots of important information, a checklist to debunk mundane possibilities like stars, ways to prove that. I use software, planetarium software, to see what objects in the sky could account for this, to rule them out as... rule them out as a UFO, basically. So, this is the beginning of my next investigation, which will start tomorrow night. And I do 2 investigations a week, so next Sunday will be my next one, and that's it. Okay, it's Wednesday night right now. Thursday night. I mean, not Wednesday. I messed up the day. This is my first investigation for the week. I do it on Wednesday or Thursday and on Sunday. I do 2 particular night watches every night that I do. One like around dusk, one around midnight or later. I'm starting the first one, and right now I haven't really seen anything out of the ordinary at all. I'm keeping tabs and stuff, and to test other things I see. I'm doing it now because there was an anomalous light coming from this area, roughly. Yeah, around this area, actually. Somewhere around there. It was a light I only saw with the viewfinder of my camera, and I can't quite explain it. I'm trying to see if it can be... It seemed to be coming from the roof of that blue house over there. You can barely see it. That's the house I'm thinking of. The roof, the right-hand corner of the roof, right around here is where I saw it. That's a rough estimate based off of the footage I took at night, comparing it to lit objects I know where they are during the day, basically. I am not sure what it is. It only appeared on the viewfinder. I didn't see it with my own eyes, and when I filmed the area 2 nights later, I didn't see it again, even in the viewfinder. So I'm going to say it's an anomalous light. I see all these anomalous lights. I don't know what they are. Heat sources? It's one possibility. Cameras can film infrared. I'm seeing planes and crap and mosquitoes too. I'm probably not going to do investigations around dawn on other days, but Sunday from now on. I can get away with it better. Okay, I just saw something weird about 5 to 10 seconds ago. Up in these trees out of the corner of my eye, I saw something like a bird flying through the air, and when I looked at it directly, I couldn't see it anymore. I don't know what it was. Alright, I'm filming an area to see if I see any obvious lights. I see possibly a light that could be this, but I'm not sure. Okay, I looked at the 3 light sources you see in the video. There's one from a porch nearby, one from a house down the road, and the light coming from a street lamp. The anomalous light I only saw through the viewfinder is too high to be the second light coming from the house. I can tell by looking at it, and I can demonstrate it for you in a second, but I don't want to do it now because there's someone coming out of the house in a car nearby, so I don't want to make people notice I'm filming around their houses because of a UFO. Possible UFO. Okay. You get the street light there. You get this light from the porch, which is right here, and you get the bigger light from the porch. The light I saw, that I only could see in a viewfinder, was further up, like around here. It can't be the porch. There's just no way. When I look at it, I can tell it's no way it's the porch. I guess it could be a light coming from the second floor windows of the house, maybe. But in that case, why did I only see it in the viewfinder? It just doesn't add up to me. The odd animal call I heard on Sunday is what's really bugging me. Actually, it was Monday morning. I heard it from somewhere around here, I'd like to say. Outside the front of my house. I was up in my bedroom, so I was pretty far away from it, but I couldn't tell what kind of animal made it. I couldn't tell what animal made the call at all. I see the moon out of the corner of my eye, too. I was checking to see what it was. The animal that made it had a voice that was very, I'd say, deep and hoarse, but it didn't sound like a wild cat. It didn't sound like a domestic cat. It didn't sound like a dog. I can't explain it, really. It's kind of freaking me out. Okay, it's Wednesday night right now. Thursday night. I mean, not Wednesday. I messed up the day. This is my first investigation for the week. I do it on Wednesday or Thursday and on Sunday. I do 2 particular night watches every night that I do. One like around dusk, one around midnight or later. I'm starting the first one, and right now I haven't really seen anything out of the ordinary at all. I'm keeping tabs and stuff, and to test other things I see. I'm doing it now because there was an anomalous light coming from this area, roughly. Yeah, around this area, actually. Somewhere around there. It was a light I only saw with the viewfinder of my camera, and I can't quite explain it. I'm trying to see if it can be... It seemed to be coming from the roof of that blue house over there. You can barely see it. That's the house I'm thinking of. The roof, the right-hand corner of the roof, right around here is where I saw it. That's a rough estimate based off of the footage I took at night, comparing it to lit objects I know where they are during the day, basically. I am not sure what it is. It only appeared on the viewfinder. I didn't see it with my own eyes, and when I filmed the area 2 nights later, I didn't see it again, even in the viewfinder. So I'm going to say it's an anomalous light. I see all these anomalous lights. I don't know what they are. Heat sources? It's one possibility. Cameras can film infrared. I'm seeing planes and crap and mosquitoes too. I'm probably not going to do investigations around dawn on other days but Sunday from now on. I can get away with it better. Okay, I just saw something weird about 5 to 10 seconds ago. Up in these trees out of the corner of my eye, I saw something like a bird flying through the air, and when I looked at it directly, I couldn't see it anymore. Don't know what it was. Alright, I'm filming an area to see if I see any obvious lights. I see possibly a light that could be this, but I'm not sure. The odd animal call I heard on Sunday is what's really bugging me. Actually, it was Monday morning. I heard it from somewhere around here, I'd like to say. Outside the front of my house. I was up in my bedroom, so I was pretty far away from it, but I couldn't tell what kind of animal made it. I couldn't tell what animal made the call at all. I see the moon out of the corner of my eye, too. I was just checking to see what it was. The animal that made it had a voice that was very, I'd say, deep and hoarse, but it didn't sound like a wild cat. It didn't sound like a domestic cat. It didn't sound like a dog. I can't explain it, really. It's kind of freaking me out. The animal call, it had a very, very strange sound. It was kind of like a cross between a human and a wildcat. It didn't say anything. It had like a growling noise, but it sounded like a tortured, deep growl from something that sounded like a mix between a human and a wildcat. It even had some reptilian tendencies in it, meaning like reptiles, not reptilian aliens. It's very bizarre, and I've never heard anything like it since or before it. I can't really explain it. The animal call, it had a very, very strange sound. It was kind of like a cross between a human and a wildcat. It didn't say anything. It had like a growling noise, but it sounded like a tortured, deep growl from something that sounded like a mix between a human and a wildcat. It even had some reptilian tendencies in it, meaning like reptiles, not reptilian aliens. It's very bizarre, and I've never heard anything like it since or before it. I can't really explain it. Possible UFO directly above. It might not show up on the film. I'm trying to make sure it does show up. I can't tell if it's a plane or not, but it's completely silent. It looks like a plane. Now it might be something I can't hear, because it's very far away. I only see some lights on it. Since I don't hear a sound coming from it, I'm suspect. I find it suspect. Now that I'm saying this is actually a UFO or not, I'm just filming it for the hell of it. Just saw a fairly weird star, probably just a star, due east, 45 degrees up, probably 50 degrees up from the ground at 7:23 or 7:24 p.m. I'm going to try to film it. Alright, another UFO. It's so far away. This is a star-like object which is moving by itself. It's just disappeared. What the hell? There it is. It has no plane-like lights. It's above the clouds. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't tell by looking at the camera while I'm filming. It's moving, and there's no sign of plane lights on it whatsoever. I saw a white light flickering for. I don't see plane lights on it. It's silent. Completely silent. Oh, this is the jackpot for tonight, people. Neck. That hurt. Back and my neck. I don't know what to think. It's even gotten brighter. Iridium flare, maybe. There's a plane right next to it. The plane has multiple lights. You can see there on its wings. This object is moving too slow to be a plane. It's weird. I'm cutting the filming out now. I'm seeing another mysterious object moving slowly through the clouds. Hold on. This is just like the first one. Almost exactly the same. Same color, same brightness. It's right above me now. It looks like a plane. Not plane, sorry. It looks like a star, but it's moving. Wait, that's Polaris. This is what I see now. I mistook what I saw for Polaris, but I'm definitely seeing a much dimmer thing slowly moving through the air in front of me. Sorry, I'm arched back, and it's very difficult for me to hold the camera still at this angle. It's right above my head, literally. I've seen many planes tonight. I know what they look like. It's peculiar. I don't know what this is. It doesn't have the lights of a plane. Not this one does. The other one kind of did for a split second, but I'm now seeing a third object, just like the first two. I can't get over this. This is UFO night for me here. Incredible. Just like the first two. Star-like and moving. It's a bit brighter than the other two. Here it is right there. Can you see it? I'm going to stop filming around a minute or so. It's definitely moving left to right, I can tell. Polaris is above me. This is not Polaris, this is moving. I can tell. It's not an optical illusion caused by the moving clouds. I look at a real star over here, and that's not moving at all. And this is. This one is actually underneath the clouds, believe it or not. Can't be a star then, now can it? Because stars are above the clouds. This doesn't make sense. Alright, quick little video here. I just saw 3 star-like objects moving above me. Didn't see any airplane lights on them. They were moving. One was above the clouds. Two were above the clouds. One was below the clouds. None of them had any airplane type of lights. None of them made any noise. Maybe they're satellites, but I checked my time. I saw them around 7:35, 7:36 to 7:39. They were moving. East to west. That actually rolls out most satellites, because most satellites move in the opposite direction, west to east. I am going to look at heavens above tonight, aside for tracking satellites, to see if they are, any of them can be accounted for what I saw, but I doubt it. I've never seen them before. I looked straight up. These were not stars. I can't explain them. I took a whole bunch of photos of them to see if any of them were unusual. This is definitely something strange going on tonight. Definitely. Just saw a 4th object. Just like a star, moving straight up. Now it's going behind the star. That might be a satellite. I don't know. Weird. I just saw 2 more objects. Both moving silently. Both moving. One of them was moving above the clouds. This other one's more likely a plane, though. I'm not going to film them. They're both moving above the clouds, rolling out airplanes. I don't have lights of an airplane. They don't make a sound. They move too slowly to be an airplane. I've seen all of them straight above me, by the way. They're not low in the sky. They're high in the sky. And they're faint. I've seen tons of airplanes tonight. These are not airplanes. I know airplanes when I see one. These definitely aren't airplanes. Alright, from 7:36 to 7:46 I saw these things. Okay, I'm trying to debunk these lights as anything that's mundane. The first thing that comes to mind is airplanes, obviously. Well, airplanes have a bright white flashing light, a very dim red flashing light, and a much dimmer than the first light, but not quite as dim as the second light I mentioned, white light that's constant. These things are so high in the sky, they're going above the cloud level, which is about, I don't know, several thousand feet up. Some of them are twinkling, some of them aren't. Some of them show signs of a red light flashing on them. Most of them don't. And I've seen at least 15 tonight. I haven't filmed more than 3 because I don't want to. None of them are really acting like an obvious UFO, but the idea that it's a plane can be completely ruled out because a plane has a bright white flashing light. I haven't even noticed a bright white flashing light in these things at all. I see a few of them twinkling. Okay, one of them has a bright white red flashing light. Red one, I mean. That one doesn't. Hold on, let me try to film this one. It's twinkling, it's flashing. This one looks like a moving star, not an airplane. And by the way, these are all silent. So I've seen flashing lights in some of them, maybe 1 or 2. The other 12, 13, I haven't even noticed any kind of lights on them. I look closely. They're all moving in the same exact direction, which doesn't make sense for airplanes. Well, it does make sense for airplanes, but it doesn't make sense for meteors, the other idea I came up with to debunk them. And they can't be meteors because why would meteors be moving across this direction constantly in all the same direction? It doesn't make sense for them to do that, and to have a whole bunch in a row like that. These are clearly unexplained. They're not planes. They don't look like a plane. They don't have the right kind of flashing lights. They don't have the bright white flashing light. They don't have the red flashing light. They only have a one constant twinkling white light. Most of them. So, I don't know. Well, my first part of the investigation is completed. It's been completed. I've already copied the videos associated with it from my camera, my digital camera I do all the filming with, to my PC where I do all the analysis, usually the next day. I also upload the videos to YouTube the next day, but I still have to do my late night part of the investigation where I'm starting at 2:30 for it now. I'm going to finish around 4 a.m. So this gives me 2.5 hours to do what I want to do roughly. I've got the sheet which I didn't bring out during the first half of the investigation. I really didn't need to. I got the fan on so people don't hear what I'm doing in the middle of the night. Now all I've got to do is move the shades up above the windows so I can see out the windows when the lights are off. So, hold on. The other. This can be a complete pain if you don't know. Shade 2 moved. Now, to turn the lights off to continue this investigation. Unlike earlier tonight, it's extremely cloudy out now in the morning of the next day, and I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I'll keep a watch out for a little while, like I always do. We have some neighbors whose lights are still on at 2:36 in the morning. I'm not detecting anything out of the ordinary. I've done a little research into the flashes I kept seeing. I think most of the ones I'm seeing out of the corner of my eyes are just reflections of lights bending at the corner of my glasses. So I'm not so sure that all of that, but that doesn't explain the weird anomalous light that I've been seeing in the trees. I hope what I just saw was just my imagination. I saw a glowing white light on top of the tree about 100 feet away from me, 200 feet, something like that. The tree is over here. Sorry if it doesn't appear in the video because the camera is really not good at filming nighttime stuff. I get around it by using high exposure and taking photos, and when I'm doing videos I enhance them with software called Virtual Dub, which I recently found, which has a very good sharpness filter, so that if you are seeing a fairly bright object you can get it to be viewable in the video even if you don't see it initially. It's pretty good. I'm not going to mention anything more unless I see something out of the ordinary, so... Okay, less than 30 seconds in and I saw an obvious flash of light right in front of me, coming from the clouds over here. I only saw it for a split second. Well, it could be a star's light being shining down in the gap between some clouds while they move in very quickly. I don't know. There have been dozens of reports on AboveTopSecret.com, a big UFO enthusiasm type site, on flashes seen in the sky like this, which seem to flash and then wait a few seconds and flash somewhere else with a very erratic pattern of where they flash. This UFO site, Above Top Secret, has dozens of forum posts on everything UFO related. UFOs, paranormal creatures like Mothman, things like that, alien abduction stories, conspiracies, you name it. It may even go into ghost stuff too. It's not good for other paranormal stuff, but it's a very good UFO site, and I've visited it for quite some time. It's AboveTopSecret.com. I highly recommend it. The forums there are great. Just go to ask.abovetopsecret.com, and you can search for whatever you want and get dozens of posts on it. Another odd sighting. 2 days ago when I took a shower, I looked out this window, saw a bright yellow light that, when I came back, was gone. Well, I didn't think much of it until I saw the same thing a second ago coming from one corner of that property, which is the house next to me. Bright yellow light. Saw it out of the corner of my eyes, but also knew it was something that was there. Disappeared completely. Now it's gone. I can't see it at all. I don't know what it is. I just saw the same light a little bit to the left of where I was before, and I saw it when I moved my head to a certain position, and when I moved my head away from it and moved it back, it was gone less than a second later. Go figure. Do we have a haunting in those areas of my neighbor's backyard? I don't know. More research needs to be done. Just saw another flash of light coming from the sky. Maybe it's a star moving behind some clouds, and is visible for a split second because the clouds are having a gap in them like I thought the other one was, but maybe it's one of those other flashy UFOs that have been talked about on Above Top Secret quite a bit. Don't know. I couldn't really get that on film. It's one of those things that photographing something you don't see ahead of time is physically impossible, and this is one of those things. Yep. I don't know if you noticed it, but we're getting a very bright red haze showing up around 2:55, 3 in the morning roughly. We got an even brighter red haze earlier last week in the middle of the night one night. It was very bright that night. Now it's almost as bright. I don't know if it's anything unusual. I'm just noting it because I noted it last time, and I photographed something flying in the air that night that I didn't see when I photographed it. Almost a cloud formation with wings, roughly 15 feet across, big wingspan, if you really want to call it anything that's physically there. I can't really see if it was or not. I looked at the photo. in the camera and saw it, but when I was in the computer, I didn't see it, so. Okay, I'm done with this night watch for tonight, because it's so cloudy out, I don't think I'm going to see anything out of the ordinary. I don't want to stay up this late. It's now almost 3 in the morning. I've been up here for... Ooh, I just saw another white flash of light, but I've been up here for a half an hour. I haven't really seen anything out of the ordinary. I've seen these flashes of light going quite explain. Filming them is impossible, because you don't know where to look. I saw another one. A lot of people lately on Above Top Secret are seeing these flash of light type UFOs, and I've been seeing them too. I can't document them other than I'm saying I'm seeing them, but I'm definitely not imagining them. These aren't flashes that I'm seeing in a vision or whatnot. These are real flashes of light. Now they could be just tonight the clouds having a little gap in them that is the right place to have starlight come in for a split second, causing the flash, but they could also be these flash-like UFOs people talk about. And if I don't really see any obvious gaps in the clouds where I can see things behind them. That's some small little gray areas, but I'm leading on to the idea that this is a UFO because I can't really see anything behind the clouds, so I think they're in front of the clouds, not behind them, but I'm not really sure. So, my night watch is done for now. Unless I see something out of the ordinary in the next 5 minutes. I just saw another flash. Very bright too. These flashes are brighter than Venus. They're very bright. That one was not out of the corner of my eye. I saw it. What the hell is going on here? I don't think this is a star doing it, because it's almost like a camera flash. Almost as bright as that in some cases. Well,